Hello everybody and welcome to JSmith takes a quick look at Antichamber. This is a game that has kind of a really big following in a lot of my indie realm of like sphere of influence, and I'm really glad that I was able to pick this up and get a little bit of playtime into it. I want to preface this video by one, saying that it's going to be short, and two, the reason that it's going to be short is because I recommend it so much and I don't want to kind of spoil more than what the game kind of presents itself. So to give it a little bit of background, I'll read a bit of the flavor text that's on the description of on the game's website. So Antichamber is a mind-bending psychological exploration game where nothing can be taken for granted. Discover an Escher-like world where hallways wrap around upon each other, spaces can reconfigure themselves, and accomplishing the impossible may be the only way forward. So, it kind of sounds a little bit pretentious, and it maybe a little bit is. But this game it's such a great puzzle game, and what I mean by that is, if you remember like Portal, and Portal is a game that you're able to learn along the whole journey of the game itself, and you know, it's kind of like a gradual course of difficulty. This game is the exact same kind of way. You're learning the entire time. The puzzles just really, it makes sense in the way that the game presents itself. So without further ado, this is Antichamber. It's developed by Alexander Bruce. You can buy it on Steam for I think 20 bucks unless it's on sale, and I think it was just on sale when it was released back on January 31st, and I think it was like maybe 17 bucks as opposed to 20. I can't really remember. Anyways, so this is the hub world, and this is really kind of what you're introduced, and this is the very first part of the game. I reset my save, and so as you can see, every choice that you make, this is a big wall, and as I go throughout the game, you're gonna see me kind of find these little things like posted onto the walls and have a picture, and when you click on the picture it says a little bit of text. So every journey is a series of choices. The first is to begin the journey. I'm going to begin that journey. I'll show you. WAS and D to walk around, hold escape to hold to quit, shift is to walk, jump is spacebar, and left mouse is my interaction. So there'll be a little bit more with mouse movements and everything later on when you get to a certain point of the game. But anyways, there is time. When the time reaches 0, you don't have any penalties. You can still play after that, but I think the game wants you to beat it in a minute or an hour and 30. So here is a wall. Well, obviously, the wall will fill up as you continue on the game. So if you ever get lost or stuck, you press escape, you get back to this hub world, and you'll be able to figure out like where on the map that you were and kind of go from there. So my destination is the first world. So I arrive, teleported even, to this kind of big open white world. I can look behind me and there's this weird eyeball thing, and down says up. Unfortunately it's behind some plate glass and I can't get anywhere. But here's a little bit of like a numbered tower. Anyways, can't go anywhere. So the instructions right in front of me clearly say jump. So I will try and attempt to jump across. Unfortunately, I am falling, and I fall to this kind of weird little place. So up here, and I'm not able to walk through there, but it is the end. At least it makes me think it's the end. But I can't get past there. So, can I jump across here? No, unfortunately. I fall. So, where am I at now? Click here. Failing to succeed does not mean failing to progress. So, what does that mean? It means even though that you fail at this game at a certain challenge, there's plenty of opportunity. Maybe the game wants you to fail at that particular moment. Maybe the game wants you to learn a little bit more before you... So basically, you're trying to crawl before you can walk. So, click here. Some paths are clearer than others. Well, obviously, this arrow means that this is pretty clear that this is the way that I need to go. Unfortunately, now I could choose left and go downstairs. I could choose right to go upstairs. Let's go upstairs. So follow this path and go up in this way. So, oh shit, it seems that I've already been here. So, the choice may be as simple as going left or going right. Well, I went up right, so let's go down left. See if this changes anything. Doesn't change anything, but something's over here. The choice doesn't matter if the outcome is the same. That is correct. So, instead of going down this hallway, what happens if we would turn around and go back here? Well, this is new. So this is what it means, like, when he talks about, like, being Escher-like and the world kind of changing on itself. Something as simple as turning around, you're able to solve the problems, because evidently, if I keep going forward, I'm going to keep go to that same place. But by changing the direction or changing my thought process, well, I can't go forward, so if I go backwards, that's going to be able to change a whole lot. It makes the game super dynamic and super interesting to kind of learn as you go. So, fire. When you return to where you've been, things aren't always as remembered, obviously. So, this is a little bit different from what I was. So, let's keep going and around and around and around until I find the door. So everything just kind of keeps changing dynamically over and over again. Interesting enough, I don't know if the game is consistent on this. So like the first part is just like super mindfuckery. But as you can kind of continue along the game, you get used to it. And you kind of start thinking in alternate kind of parallels. So it's always interesting or neat to see what's going on. So some choices leave us running around a lot without really getting anywhere. So I guess we have to press escape. And by pressing escape, I get to move along. So, you don't like where you've ended up trying to do something else. Well, I can do that. This little weird blobby thing kind of hangs out a lot, and you'll see him as you kind of continue going along the game. I've never interacted with it yet, but I also haven't beat the game yet. I'm getting close, I think. Well, I was close before I restarted the game so I could record this video, but anyways. So, time remaining, 1 hour and 23 minutes. So, let's start at the beginning again, but the beginning has changed. So instead of jumping, it's asking us to walk. So if I hold in shift and go forward, surprise, surprise, stairs appear. And that makes I'm able to walk across. If I ran, those stairs don't appear. So, baby steps. Taking the first step can be harder than the rest of the challenge. I can certainly agree with that. So is there anything down here? Whoa. Yes. So, hole in the wall. A dead end will only stop you if you try to move through it. Wait, will only stop you if you don't try to move through it. So, you see the wall at the end, but there's always something a little bit more than meets the eye. It's like a transformer. Keep going forward when you're not supposed to. So, fly. I don't think I could really do that yet, but let's try. And I fail. But failing isn't always the worst part about this game because you're learning throughout the whole thing. So, we fall down when there's nothing there to support us, Mr. Wayne. So, where to go from here? Well, I could try to go this way. Unfortunately, I'm blocked. But, I'll probably be able to get there a little bit later. Actually, I know for sure that I'll be able to get over there later because I've been there. But, in the beginning, can't do anything except go forward. The path of least resistance is a valid option. So, maybe the path that looks the simplest might be the simplest. So, this is the first part we're meted by these little, kind of angry little blob things. And so, the faster you go while you're in their vicinity, the more that they kind of cause problems for me. So, if I walk on through there, I'm able to navigate through this door and over through the left. So the game is all about opportunities that are presenting themselves in strange different ways. So let's just keep on going. Taking one path often means missing out on another. So, although I'm able to go through this path, I'm not able to go through that path as of yet. But more on that as I continue on. So I find myself in an existential quandary full of loathing and self-doubt. This almost looks like I can't get through. And unfortunately, fortunately for me, I can. So everything's clear on those sides, everything's clear on the sides, but when you go in through here, clear on the bottom, but everything's kind of filled up on the sides. And it doesn't look like I can get through here either. But, turn around, and suddenly I'm in a different room. So what I can do, I can try walking again, and that seems to have helped me out a little bit. But I gotta navigate because there's this kind of wall in front of me. So, get across, and navigate to the pendulum room. So is this a rabbit or is it a duck? You decide that for yourselves. How we perceive the problem can change every time we see it. So now it's a duck. Maybe it's a rabbit. Who knows? Depends on your perception. See an eye, and I see this falling down behind me. So, but there's also this pendulum that says, L-I-F-E. Life. So maybe that has a deeper meaning. I have no idea. I am not that deep of a guy. But here's an interesting room, and I've always really liked this room. And it kind of shows the art style of the game in a lot of different ways. So you're just seeing just all the crazy mechanics or crazy things that can actually happen in this game just by simple turning of the walls. Something a little bit different on each side. Kind of reminds me of like a futuristic art gallery, like a sci-fi art gallery. But what I do notice is that I'm able to go through the back of this room and into here. When you absorb your surroundings, you may notice that you didn't see before. Alright. Wait a minute, did I just see something? No, I didn't. Wait. I thought I saw something like green, just like right around this corner. I don't know if you guys can see that in the fraps. Anyways, when you absorb your surroundings, you may notice things that you didn't see before. When you absorb your surroundings, you may notice things that you didn't see before, and so on and so forth. Anyways, let's just continue going forward. Here's actually an interesting challenge, and kind of threw me through a loop the first time I played. So, spoiler alert, if you're willing to play this game, I'm going to show you a little bit how to complete this puzzle. See the green? Go towards the green. See the green? Go towards the green. And kind of keep going in that same kind of direction. You want to always stay with the green until, oh shit, it has these like crickets chirping to kind of show you along the way. And unfortunately, I'm getting lost myself, but I think it's over here. And I am evidently wrong, but I thought it. Turn right, turn left, turn right again. Maybe it's left again. I don't know, I'm confusing myself. I really thought I was going to be able to do this challenge the first time. But let me go through here, and through here, and up. Nope, didn't work. So, right, and straight. Nope. Anyways, so this is the kind of puzzles that you're going to be looking towards. And there we go. Alright, so I think this will be the last puzzle room that I'll go through. And then I'll head back to because again, I don't want to show off too much of this game because it's so interesting and it's so unique. And I'm not even getting to even part of the later levels. All I want to do, and all I want you guys to understand is that I highly recommend this game. Spend the $20. Please do yourself a favor and just get this game. If you never stop trying, you will get there eventually. So, all these little puzzle pieces on the side, they tell you a little bit about the game, tells you a little bit about how to complete the current mission that you're on, a current level or current challenge. So this says some choices can leave us running around in circles. It's like a dog chasing its tail. But you got to keep going, like that sign said before. The only way to progress is to keep going forward. So with that progression, I eventually am able to come back here. So, got my nice arrow on the ground. It's telling me to go this way, but I can't go that way unless I don't look at that door, which will fall down behind me. So a few steps backwards make you keep moving forwards, as we just saw. So last puzzle, and I'm just going to show you how to get past here. Interesting thing. So room full of red, nothing except this, and room full of green, but nothing. But how do I get there? Well, you get there by filling your screen with that, and voila. Everything is now blue. The world is now blue. I'm blue, ba-ba-dee-da-ba-die. Alright, so that's the window of opportunity. Coming back, seeing this weird green floating orb thing. Behind there, it's kind of like this gun thing, and you can use that gun to pick up these little squares. You can use those squares to fill up those little lines in the background to keep doors open, keep doors closed, to use them to stack and try to get as far as you can. Unfortunately, that'll bring us to the end of this quick look. When I beat this game, hopefully within this next few days or so, I kind of hope to do a whole Let's Play on this because I think it's really interesting. I think it's really fun. But I don't want to do it blind because there are some parts that I would get stuck on and I would hate to waste you guys' time. So, anyways, thank you all very, very much for watching, checking this out. I'm going to go back to the hub room. I'll show you every little of those signs that you see are now appearing on this board. And so you can go back, and if you ever get lost or you remember a sign that is around you, always go back and check the board, see where you're at. You can see the whole outline of the map that you've been to so far, and even go as far as clicking to the different rooms that you've been to, so you could always go back. Unfortunately, the more you progress, the harder it is to find out exactly where you left off, because there's going to be so many rooms and so many ways for you to go that you kind of have to just hope that you're picking the right one. And if you didn't pick the right one, you can either go back and try again, or you could try to keep on going forward until you eventually figure it out. So that is like my one drawback. And so there is points in the game that, you know, you'll get lost or you stop playing for a little bit, you log back in, you're just like, oh shit, where the hell did I leave off? But generally, you have a good feel of how you got there, because the game, again, presents itself in a way that you're able to remember the different locations and remember where you've been and what you've done, and you're always unlocking new powers or new ways to progress in the game. Really awesome way that they, the developer, Alexander Bruce, was able to implement learning into this game, and I really feel that he did a kick-ass job. So, once again, I do recommend this game. Thank you for taking the time to watch it. This is a quick look at Antichamber. I hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, I'll see you later. Thanks, guys.